Right now, somewhere between your paycheck hitting your account and the end of the month, money is disappearing. Not because you're spending on big things, not because you had some emergency, it's just gone, and you can't fully explain where. Most finance channels will hand you a budgeting app or tell you to cut your coffee. That's not the problem. The real problem is 7 specific money habits that are silently working against you every single day, and nobody is naming them clearly enough. I've spent 8 years in personal finance, and I've watched the same patterns destroy people's financial lives over and over. Once I identified all 7 and built a system to break them, everything changed. People I've worked with went from living paycheck to having $10,000 in savings within 12 months, not by earning more, by stopping these exact mistakes. Stay with me because what I'm about to show you changes everything. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Alex Carter. I've been working in personal finance for 8 years. In these 8 years, I've helped hundreds of people solve real money problems, and honestly, some of those people's lives completely changed because of it. On this channel, I help everyday people build real wealth without confusion, take back control of their money, and finally stop feeling behind. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with mistake number 1, and this one stings because almost nobody admits it. The paycheck to paycheck mindset. When I first started tracking my own finances, I was making $3,800 a month and spending $3,750. I thought I was doing okay because the math worked, just barely. But that's exactly the trap. When you operate with zero margin, one unexpected expense, a car repair, a medical bill, anything, wipes out everything you've built. Most finance channels will tell you to just spend less. But here's what they miss. It's not just a spending problem, it's a thinking problem. When you mentally accept that your money runs out before the next paycheck, you stop planning ahead. You start making reactive decisions instead of intentional ones. The fix is what I call the gap mindset. Every month, your goal is not to break even. Your goal is to create a gap between what comes in and what goes out. Even $200, even $100. That gap is where your future lives. Bank statement showing monthly income versus expenses with a small surplus highlighted. Start by pulling up your last 3 months of bank statements, not to judge yourself, just to see the truth. Write down your average income and your average spending. If the gap is 0 or negative, that number becomes your new enemy. You work against it every single month until the gap grows, okay? Keep watching, because what comes next is the part most people completely miss. Mistake number 2, ignoring high-interest debt. Here's a number I want you to sit with for a second. The average American carries $6,000 in credit card debt. At a 22% annual interest rate, which is the current average, that's $1,320 a year in interest alone. That's $110 a month leaving your account and producing absolutely nothing for you. Most apps will show you your debt balance. That's it. They don't show you the true cost, what that debt is stealing from your future. Calculate, here's what I want you to understand. High-interest debt is not a debt problem, it's a return problem. When you pay off a credit card charging 22%, you're effectively earning a guaranteed 22% return on that money. No investment on the planet gives you that, risk-free. The fix is the avalanche method. List every debt you have. Write the interest rate next to each one. Pay minimum payments on everything, but every single extra dollar goes to the highest rate debt first. Once that's gone, that payment rolls into the next one. It accelerates, it compounds. And within 18 to 24 months, most people I've worked with are completely free of high-interest debt. Okay? Mistake number 3, lifestyle inflation. You get a raise, you upgrade your apartment, you lease a better car, you start eating out more. And somehow, 3 months later, you feel exactly as financially tight as you did before the raise. This is lifestyle inflation, and it is one of the most dangerous financial forces in existence because it's invisible. It doesn't feel like a mistake, it feels like a reward. One modest, one upgraded, with price tags visible. I'm going to show you something in just a minute that took me 2 years to learn. But first, let me give you the fix here. When your income goes up, apply what I call the 50-50 rule. Half of every raise or bonus goes to your future, savings, investments, debt payoff. The other half, you can spend. You still get to enjoy the upgrade, but your future gets upgraded at the same time. This one rule, applied consistently, is the difference between someone who earns $80,000 and feels broke versus someone who earns $55,000 and feels wealthy. Okay? Mistake number 4, having no emergency fund. This is the one that makes all the other mistakes worse. When you don't have an emergency fund, every unexpected expense goes straight to a credit card. That means every car problem, every medical bill, every home repair becomes high-interest debt. You're not just dealing with the emergency, you're paying for it for the next 12 months with interest. Most finance channels say, save 3 to 6 months of expenses. That advice is correct, but it's missing the psychological piece. Nobody saves $15,000 overnight. The goal that actually works is $1,000 first. Savings account screen showing a $1,000 milestone with a check mark. $1,000 stops the bleeding. It means the next emergency doesn't automatically become debt. Once you hit $1,000, you push to 1 month of expenses, then 3, then 6. But the first target is $1,000, and most people can get there in 60 to 90 days if they're intentional. Okay? Keep watching because the next mistake is the one that costs people the most money over their entire lifetime. Mistake number 5, avoiding investing because of fear. I understand this one personally. When I first looked at the stock market, I felt like it was a casino. It moved randomly. People lost money. The news was always terrifying. But here's what that fear cost me, and what it might be costing you. If you invest $300 a month starting at age 25, at a 10% average annual return, which is the S&P 500's historical average, you end up with approximately $1.9 million by age 65. If you wait until age 35 to start, that same $300 a month grows to just $678,000. That 10-year delay costs you over $1.2 million, not because of anything you did wrong, just because of waiting. 2 compound interest growth charts side by side, starting at 25 versus starting at 35. Most finance channels give you this stat and stop there. What they don't tell you is how to start when you're scared. Here's what works. You start with a single index fund, specifically a total market ETF like VTI or S&P 500 fund like VOO. You set up automatic monthly contributions, even $50, even $100. You do not check it daily. You treat it like a bill that pays your future self. The fear goes away the moment you start seeing it grow, and it will grow, okay? Mistake number 6, neglecting financial education. Here's the thing nobody tells you about money. The financial system was not designed to teach you how it works. Banks make money when you carry debt. Insurance companies make money when you don't understand your policy. Investment firms make money when you're too confused to manage your own portfolio. Most people spend more time researching a new phone than understanding how their retirement account works. The fix here is not complicated, but it requires consistency. Spend 20 minutes a week learning something specific about money. Not general motivation, specific. How does a Roth IRA work? What is dollar cost averaging? How do index funds differ from actively managed funds? 20 minutes a week is 17 hours a year. In 1 year, you will know more about your own finances than 90% of people around you. And that knowledge compounds exactly like money does, okay? Keep watching, because mistake number 7 is the one that holds everything else back. Mistake number 7, paying yourself last. Most people pay their rent, their subscriptions, their car payment, their groceries, and then save whatever happens to be left over. The problem is, nothing is ever left over. Life expands to fill every dollar you give it. The fix is simple, but it requires a mindset shift. You pay yourself first, automatically, before anything else. Phone screen showing an automated transfer set up on the first of the month, labeled Savings, Non-Negotiable. The moment your paycheck hits, a fixed amount, even $50, even $200, transfers automatically to a separate savings or investment account. You don't see it. You don't touch it. You live on what remains. This one change, more than almost anything else, is what separates people who build wealth from people who wonder where their money went. Okay? Before I wrap up, there's one more thing I want to show you. I almost didn't include this, but honestly, it's too good not to share. The thing that actually ties all 7 of these fixes together is what I call a one-page money snapshot. It's not a budget. It's not a spreadsheet. It's a single piece of paper, or a note on your phone, where you write down 4 numbers every single month. Your income, your fixed expenses, your savings transfer, and your gap. That's it. 4 numbers. When you look at those 4 numbers once a month, you are doing more active financial management than the majority of adults in the world. It takes 5 minutes, and it keeps you honest in a way that no app can, because you wrote it yourself. The people I've worked with who implemented this one habit, even without doing anything else, stopped bleeding money within 60 days. Because you cannot unknow a number you've written down with your own hand. Okay? Alright, so today we covered the 7 money mistakes that silently keep people broke, and the exact fix for each one. If this helped you even a little bit, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need this kind of content. Subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit the bell icon so you never miss a video like this. We drop new finance content every week, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. And if you want to go even deeper on building your first investment portfolio from scratch, I've linked a video right here. Go check that out next. I'll see you there. Have a prosperous day.